Here's the thing that no one tells you when you're standing on the scale wondering why nothing is moving. Your body doesn't want to burn the fat. It is doing exactly what hundreds of thousands of years of evolution has taught it to do, which is to hold on to the fat to keep you alive through the next winter, the next famine, and the next time the food runs out. The problem is food never runs out anymore in these modern diets. But your body doesn't know that. So it clings onto every kilo like your life depends on it. And you cannot bully that fat off of your body. You will struggle to starve it off. You can't punish it off at the gym with a brutal workout. And the more you try to force yourself, the harder your body will fight back and you will end up feeling ravenously hungry, which is something that you cannot fight with willpower, and you're going to be exhausted. Instead, you need to create the exact conditions where your body finally feels safe enough to let the fat go, and then it's going to do it on its own, mostly while you are asleep, which is great news, not on a treadmill like you might assume. Now, I'm going to show you how that switch works, the 4 things that you can do tomorrow to flip it, and stick with me because the fourth one is one that almost everyone gets wrong. First thing I really need you to hear is that if you have been doing everything right and weight won't budge, it's not your fault. All right? Say it with me. Not my fault. Your body is running on a survival program. Fat is stored energy. It is your body's hard earned emergency savings account for difficult times, and your body doesn't like spending that savings. From a survival point of view, giving up fat easily would be a real design flaw. So when you slash your food and grind harder, your body's reading it as like, okay, great, famine is here. And it's going to do the smart thing first, which is going to slow down everything to protect you. This is called adaptive thermogenesis. You're going to eat less and your body's going to burn less to try and match that. Your hunger is going to go up and your energy is going to go down. And you're thinking, oh my God, I'm eating less. Surely my body will just tap into emergency savings. Well, not exactly. Not without insulin lowering enough to unlock the body fat. That's the trap. That is why eat less, move more stops working, and then you blame yourself for it. This was me. Pair that with what my doctor also thinks is PMOS or PCOS, which means that I was the type of person who could look at a cupcake and gain weight because it's a hormonal issue. 3 meals a day being good, the scale would not move. My body was doing its job a little bit too well by preserving every ounce of fat that I had on my body. Now, there is a lever that actually controls the whole thing, and that is insulin. When insulin is up, your body is in storage mode. When it is down, your body is finally into fat burning mode. And the thing is, it doesn't matter how little you ate, it's about keeping insulin low enough for long enough that your body flips over to burning fat. And the beautiful part is that switch mostly flips overnight. So you can spend a whole day lowering insulin. And if drops low enough by the time you go to sleep, your body will finally tap into fat burning while you're sleeping and give you a few real hours before you wake up again where it's actually just dropping weight. Think of it like this. All day, you're earning those overnight fat burning hours. When I'm a bit hungry in the evening, I actually kind of like it now. I know that my body is about to make a meal out of my own body fat instead of asking me for more. This is also referred to as the Randle Cycle. So we've got, sugar and fat that are competing for the same door. Sugar is always going to win when it is around, and that is why timing can really be willpower. So these are some things that I want you to stop doing. So counting calories harder, this is just going to backfire on you. You are not fixing insulin. You are triggering that sort of, you know, adaptive thermogenesis to happen. Then things like cortisol spiking hit. And I want to be clear here, I'm not against fasted morning, walks or running or whatever. But I'm talking about smashing yourself with high intensity training that spikes your stress hormone cortisol multiple times a week. Cortisol will work against fat loss if you're overdoing it. You can do everything right with food and undo it by stressing your body out and holding on to that. A little cortisol is good, and it'll get you out of bed in the morning and it will make you feel energized. But too much, that's chronic cortisol. That's where you're going to start to find issues as well. We've got the just push through the hunger. Nope, this whole approach is without starving yourself as well. If you are genuinely hungry, it's a signal, not a test. We do not just push through hunger around here. And a quick thing, insulin is the first domino, and it's not the only hormone deciding whether you hold or release fat. It's just like the master one. There are 9 of these hormones that are going to control fat loss and fat storage and keep staying stuck. I have broken down all 9 of these hormones in my free masterclass. The link is below. Go and watch that after this. So these are the 4 things that you can do tomorrow. What we want to do is front load your carbs. You're more insulin sensitive in the morning, so you're going to have a lower carb portion, have it earlier in the day, not at night. This is the same food with better timing, but lower insulin overnight. And a carb reminder, we manage carbs, we don't cut them out completely. Then number 2 is walking after your meals. Even just 10 to 15 minutes is going to blunt that blood sugar rise so insulin doesn't spike as hard. This is the type of walking that I love. It's not the cortisol spiking stuff. It's just a nice walk. It's good for your mental health as well. Number 3 is stop that post-dinner sweet treat. After dinner, chocolate, yogurt, whatever, it's keeping your insulin up at the exact same time that your body is least able to handle it, especially if you're like me and you've got PCOS. And this is a habit. It's not hungry. You've just eaten dinner. If that is the last thing standing between you and that overnight switch, just cut it and see how you feel. Number 4 is stop eating about 3 hours before bed. This is the one that people get wrong. This is the whole thing. You finish eating about 5 to 6, and instead of grazing until 9 o'clock, we want your insulin to fall before you sleep because that means that your melatonin is actually going to be able to rise because your insulin and your melatonin are like on a seesaw here. So we want insulin to come down, melatonin to rise, and you can get in a nice, good sleep. So close the kitchen early. This is really going to help. These are not 4 random tips as well. Every one of them lowers insulin across the day. And the overnight switch is that's where you're going to flip and start to actually see the fat burning. And that fat burning is going to happen because your body feels safe enough, like I said before, to actually let go of the fat. Now, inside my metabolic method, I've got 5 levers that I pull. So we're going to lower insulin raising food, get enough protein, stop burning fat, extending your fasting window, and steps and resistance training. So today was really levers 1 and 4 in action. If you want all 5 levers, check out my website below. And I want you to see that this isn't a hack. This is a system that your body actually agrees with. Everyone that I've taught this system to has lost half a kilo to a kilo a week consistently without counting a single calorie. It's about 1 to 2 pounds a week because it works on hormones, not just calories. So if you want one thing from today, just let it be this. Your body has been running on ancient survival program that doesn't know that the famine is never going to come. The second you stop fighting it and start giving it the right environment, carbs earlier in the day, a walk after meals, kitchen closed early, it's going to stop hoarding all of that body fat and finally feel comfortable enough to let it go. Mostly while you sleep, which is great. You don't have to be running on the treadmills forever. And this is without you starving either for even a single second. So if you want the full picture, also there's 9 hormones that decide whether you hold on to fat or burn it. The free masterclass is waiting for you below. And if you are looking for some supplements to help you along the way, I have simplified the heck out of this in my video about the only 3 supplements I take and why you need to stop wasting your money on every supplement that promises to be the new Ozempic in a bottle. So I'll see you over there.